But you did things like take smiling pictures with Candace Owens, who I think is very hurtful. Okay, do you not regret that? Do you not see that you're giving her legitimacy? You don't regret taking pictures, smiling pictures with Candace Owens? I mean, how does that help the issue?
And you're going to have to take it outside. Thanks to Van Jones, the reunited states will be streaming and on demand starting February 9th. For more information on the documentary.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Van Jones being attacked by the left while he's on the left for in any kind of way being friends with the right. You saw at the very beginning, you had Ana Navarro attacking him because he took a picture with Candace Owens. I mean, just taking the picture, not even saying that he agrees with us on the right 100% and Candace Owens and Brandon Tatum and everybody else. Just taking the picture is enough to get attacked over there on the left as a leftist. All right. We don't do that over here on our side. All right. You can work with the other side to get some things done. We're supposed to be, having a bipartisan movement, unity, all of that. Whatever happened to that? But I'm going down a rabbit hole, so I digress. I'm going to play a little bit here from that same View interview that the Ana Navarro kerfuffle happened. This is going to be with Sunny hosting. She's questioning whether the black community really respects him and will accept him because of his views. So after we get done with that, I'll talk about what she said, what he said, then I'll give you the rest of my 2 cents, my deep, detailed analysis, and then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Now, Van, you do spend a lot of time, threading the middle and trying to unite people. But there are those who really accuse you of being a political opportunist, a chameleon, so to speak, who provided racial cover for former disgraced, twice impeached President Trump. You said this, and I quote, "Donald Trump, and I get beat up by liberals every time I say this, but I'm going to keep saying it. He has done good stuff for the black community, opportunity zone stuff, black college stuff. There's a side to Donald Trump that I think he does not get enough credit for." Yet, just recently, you cried on CNN when Joe Biden was elected the 46th president, and you said, "It's easier to be a parent now. Character matters now. Truth matters." You even mentioned George Floyd and said a lot of people felt they couldn't breathe. People in the black community don't trust you anymore. What is your response?
Well, I don't think that's true. The entire quote I said was that Trump has done a lot of good stuff he doesn't get credit for. And then I went on to say the reason I didn't get credit for it is because he's done all this horrific stuff, said all this horrific stuff, and it completely erases what he's done. But what happens is social media will take the clip, but they won't show the full context.
All right. So you saw that, you heard that. Now, this is really crazy for, just I think the main reason, I'm not really sure how Sunny hosting can even be talking about stuff like this. I mean, who appointed her the Queen of Zamunda, the Queen of Black people? Is she even black? I don't really know. I'm seeing an Hispanic person, maybe Caribbean. I'm not really sure if Sunny Hostin identifies as black or if she identifies as black, if she really is that. All right. So I'm not sure how she has any kind of say on that matter. But beyond that, what is this black community you speak of? I mean, you're talking about black liberals that don't like conservatives or anybody that identifies with conservatives or anyone that works with conservatives. If that's the case, then maybe you're right. But is that all black people? Is that the entire black community? And do they not trust him because he has different points of view? Or is it because his points of view happen to be what they don't like? So is it about being black or not? Because the same thing can be said about white liberals, Hispanic liberals, anybody, Filipino, it don't matter who you are. Any liberal that thinks that same kind of way, meaning you can't have any kind of bipartisanship, they're going to be right in the same boat with the Van Jones. So why make the distinction about it being black people? And then beyond that, a lot of black folks don't even vote. I say at least 25% or more, probably about 35 to 40% of black people don't even vote. So a lot of us don't even really know too much about Van Jones or who he is. So when you say the black community does not trust him, what are you talking about? Those that are on Twitter, those that are on the internets and really, deep into what's going on. It's not that many black folks that are really like that. And the truth is Not a lot of Americans are like that. Not a lot of Americans understand politics on a really deep level to get into the minutia of who the Senate Majority Leader is and who the, what's the budget going to be and how much the defense budget is. They're not going to get into all of that kind of stuff. People got lives and they're busy. They got kids and friends and family. They're not going to be deep into it like how many of us are that are watching this video. So how could she make that statement? It doesn't make any sense at all. The View is where you go to get attacked if you have any kind of favorable view of the right. And don't get it twisted. I'm not necessarily a big Van Jones fan. I'm not going to be holding the pom-poms for Van Jones when he walks out of his apartment in New York City or wherever he lives. I'm not going to be that guy. But at the same time, I appreciate him for working with the other side, coming to the right. He's clearly a leftist. That's not even something that really can be debated, in my humble opinion. But I appreciate him working with the other side for what he believes in, which is criminal justice reform. Getting guys out of the penitentiary that shouldn't be there. A thing that Trump championed. I know it could be a hard thing being on the left, especially as a black person, because there's a heightened level of scrutiny on you to be 100% loyal to that side and to never do anything else and to never leave off of that particular platform, plantation, whatever you want to call it. I know it can be real hard, so I appreciate Van Jones for doing it. He has a lot of bravery and a lot of what they say chutzpah to be able to do it. And he was pretty successful getting guys out of the penitentiary that shouldn't be there, working with Kim Kardashian, working with the Trump administration. All right. I appreciate him for that. Now, he said some things I don't like about Trump and the administration. I saw him crying on TV and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, man, you need to get it together, tighten up. I'm not a fan of that, but I'm a fan of other things that he has done. I'll give you credit when credit is due. A prime example is Mitt Romney. I am no fan of Mitt Romney at all. I do not like Mitt Romney. If you could give me like some of my top 5 most disliked political figures, not even mentioning their party affiliation, Romney's right there at the top. But he came out and opposed transgender men, women, whatever they want to call themselves, engaging in sports with the opposing biological gender. So I support him on that 100%. I could support him in that effort and nothing else. Same thing with Van Jones. I could support him in the effort of criminal justice and oppose him on everything else. That's how I'm going to do it. I'm not going to reject his help because he's on the other side the majority of the time. I'll work with you when it makes sense to work with you. I'm just a logical person. I'm not just some kind of gangbanger or something like that where the ops always going to get it. I'm not that kind of guy. I'll work with you. This is politics. This is how it is. It's not personal. Okay, it's never personal. This is business, never personal. All right, if you got elected or you're just a guy that's just, in DC or a lobbyist or whatever, it's nothing personal. No, there's no personal beef against a person. It's how can we work together to make this thing work? That's kind of where I come at it from. But they don't want to do that on the opposing side. Not at all. It's, my way or the highway, 100% or 0%. And it's really a shame to see, but no surprise. And this is why a lot of black people and white people too, and everybody else kind of fear leaving the left, or they kind of want to leave the left. Then they kind of like call themselves libertarian, although they may not really be libertarian. They may be just more conservative, but they want to find a middle ground, what they see as a middle position in order to not be harassed and, demeaned and mocked as a Trump supporter or a racist, conservative, or whatever the case may be. All right. So that kind of pressure can be really hard. But I think when people let go of that pressure and don't let Ana Navarro and Sunny Hostin question their blackness and talk about, oh, this person is toxic, don't take that picture. When we break away from that and do whatever we want to do on our terms, we'll be better off for it in the end. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about Van Jones? Are you a fan? Not a fan? Are you a fan of what he does that's good, but not a fan of what he does that's bad? If that's your viewpoint, let me know in the comments below. How do you feel about The View? Like I said before, it's a show where you go to get harassed if you have anything to do with a conservative. If you're conservative, forget about it. They're going to harass you. Even the so-called conservatives on there are there to harass you. Can you believe that Ana Navarro is a so-called conservative Republican? Can you believe that? I mean, she is more of a leftist than some leftists. Ana Navarro is more of a leftist as a conservative than Van Jones is a leftist as a liberal. So sometimes these little labels and whatnot people put on themselves don't make a difference. You say you're conservative, but you're more liberal than the liberal. What's really going on with that? But how do you feel about The View in general? Is it a good place to be? Is it a toxic place to be? Whatever your thoughts on them are, let me know in the comments below. And you guys pretty much know where I'm at with it. I think that the View is a mess. These people trying to shame you because you're black and you happen to work with the right sometimes when you're on the left. I think it's just bogus. Do whatever you want to do. I don't got to agree with you all the time. Neither do they. Just do what you want to do. All right. And I just would like for those that are, you know, kind of not really having one particular party affiliation 100% of the way, just be honest. Just be honest. I can respect you if you say, hey, you know, I don't like Trump's policies. I'm a liberal, but I like what he's doing over here, and I can support him on that. Don't get it twisted. I'm going to be over here with my particular point of view on my side of the aisle, but I'll reach across the aisle to work with you. That should be the way that it is. Unfortunately for many, it does not end up working that way. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.